Hello, everyone. Again, welcome to AppSpokes Spring Showcase live demo by the AppFusions team. My name is Danielle Zhu. I'm a senior PM with AppFusions. On behalf of our team, I'd like to thank you for joining us. Today's webinar is being recorded. We'll share the recording after the webinar. Here's the agenda. First, I'd like to introduce you to my colleague, AppFusions CTO and Senior Architect, Patrick Lee, who will demo our products, IBM Connections integrations for Atlassian, Confluence, and JIRA, for Microsoft OneDrive with Office 365, for Salesforce CRM, and closing up with Zendesk. So before we get going, a couple of quick polls. The first question should show up in your screen shortly. Okay, please select the answer that is applicable to your organization. Here's the result. Second poll. We are curious. Do you use any of the 5 products currently in your organization? All right, and here's the result. All right, a little about AppFusions. AppFusions is an IBM business partner, and we have been focusing on packaged integrations for IBM Connections for the past 5 years. By seamlessly integrating your apps and data inside IBM Connections, your team can collaborate with more context in their communities, faster and better. No more digital silos with a collaboration hub. Our solutions take minutes to set up in the cloud, in hours versus weeks for on-prem. The user interfaces and experiences are intuitive and just work. Without further ado, I'd like you to meet Patrick Lee. Patrick, are you ready?
Yep. Okay, thank you, Danielle. My name is Patrick, and I'll be demoing the 5 applications with IBM Connections. So the first demo we're going to see will be for Atlassian, JIRA, and Atlassian Confluence. And we'll get started with JIRA. So what you see here is a IBM Communities in the cloud. And for the JIRA integration, we have a number of community apps. And the first one we have is called the JIRA List app. And this is the one you see on the right-hand side. Now, what this app does is it allows you to select the JIRA instance that you want to integrate with. So if you happen to have more than one JIRA instance, you can integrate with all of them. And once you have selected that, then you can select the saved filter that you have created inside JIRA. So in this case, we are using this filter for the Scrum board, which is a filter that we have for our Scrum project. And lastly, you set how many items you want to display in your list. So once we have set that, we can see the community app will bring back the results coming from the filter and then display them in the list. Now I can click on the result in the list, and then we can see the contents of the issue directly inside IBM Connections. Now from here, you can actually work with the issue directly, such as editing an issue. You can also add comments, assign, and all the other operations that you would normally do inside JIRA. Now, if you have any third-party add-ons installed in your JIRA instance, these will also be supported. So, for example, we have a translate button, which comes from a third-party plugin, and it's showing up here through the integration. We can click on that and then perform a translation, and then the plugin works by translating the contents from English to German. Now, if you also want to create issue here from Connections, you can click on the Create Issue button at the bottom. And this will bring up the normal Create Issue interface. You can select what project you want to create an issue in and its issue type. And then you get the Create Issue form with the fields you want to fill in. Now, the form you see here will take into consideration things such as custom fields you might have, any field configurations, any custom screens you have made. So any kind of customization you may have in JIRA will be reflected here through the integration. And of course, if you have any third-party add-ons, in this case, we have an e-signature add-on here that's showing up as a custom field. These will also be displayed and supported through the integration. Now, the second integration app we have is called the JIRA Chart app. Now, the difference between the two is the JIRA List app will return results in a list, and the JIRA Chart app will return the result as a chart. So, very similarly, you select the JIRA instance you want to integrate with, and you select the filter you want to get your data from, and then you select the field that you want to use to create a chart with. And in this case, we also want to just create a pie chart. So as you can see, now we have put in the results from the JIRA filter and then showing a pie chart divided by based on the issue type of the issue. So you can see we have a number of bugs, subtasks, and stories. And the pie chart is interactive. And you can hide and slice and dice the results as you wish. Now, if you're interested to see the issues that actually are used from the filter to create the chart, you can click on the View Issues link. And this will actually bring back the results coming from the filter in a table. And then you can also work directly on these issues by selecting this the More option, and you'll be able to edit, transition, comment, and do everything you need to do for the issues. Now, the third integration app we have is called the JIRA Search app. As the name suggests, it allows you to search information from JIRA directly in connections. So in this case, we first select the project we want to search in, and then do a simple text search. So, for example, I'm interested in all the issues that's related to working as a team. And as you can see, it brings back 3 issues with a summary that says as a team. Now you can click on the search result. And just like all the other integration apps for JIRA that we have seen so far, you will be able to work with them, edit, comment, and everything that you normally would do. Now you can also filter the search results. So for example, if I'm only interested in issues that seem to do, or if I'm only interested in certain issues such as in estimate, I can filter that, and then you can see the results get updated dynamically. Now I can also change the layout of the results. I can hide certain fields. So if I don't care about status and update timestamp, I can hide them from the result as well. Now, if you are a power user, you can click on the advanced link, and then that will switch to the advanced search form, which allows you to run JQL queries directly against JIRA. So I can do a quick change to this and say only return issues that's currently assigned to me. And now it returns all the list with the assignee set to Patrick. Now, another integration option we have is for if you're using JIRA Agile to run Agile projects such as Scrum and Kanban. So if you're using JIRA Agile, you can come to here and select the JIRA Agile board option. And what this will do is actually bring in the JIRA Agile board inside your IBM connections. So as you can see, we now have the Agile board displaying here. We have all our columns. We can select on the Agile card, and we can see the more detailed view of the Agile card, comments, and all the other fields. And we can actually work with the Agile board directly here by dragging the issue from one column to the next. And if you want, you can actually complete your sprint right here inside IBM Connections. And once you have completed your sprint, you can see the results of your sprint, a summary, as well as any report or charts such as burn down charts, epic charts, and all the other charts that Jira Agile support. And once you start your new sprint, you can bring the new springboard right into connections from here. Now, last but not least, you can also set up integrations with the connections activity stream. And as you can see, we have a number of Jira activities showing up here. And we can click on the activity stream items, and you can actually see the contents of the issue that's being referenced in the activity stream. And you can also add comments. You can view more contents about the issue. So that is the Jira integration. We will now move on to the Confluence integration. Now, with the Confluence integration, we also have a number of community apps. The first one is the Confluence List app. And very similar to the Jira integration, you can first select the Confluence instance you want to integrate with, and then provide a Confluence query to limit and set the scope of the results you want to display in your list, and then set how many results you want to actually see. So in this case, we are saying that we want to return all the contents from the space with the key called DS, which is the demo space that comes with all Confluence instances. And then we're only interested in page, and only pages that has a label set to tips. So once we save that, we can see we have 4 pages being returned. Now we can click on the results, and we can actually see the contents coming back from the Confluence page directly inside connections. Now you can edit the page, save it, watch, and again do everything that you normally would do with a Confluence page. And if you also have any custom plugins installed, and again we have a translate plugin installed in our Confluence instance, they will also be supported. We can click on that, and this time we can translate to Spanish. Now the second app we have is called the Confluence Recent Updates app. And what this does is it will allow you to select a space, and then what it will do is it will return the results for return the contents that have been most recently updated. So you can keep track of what you or any other members of the team has been working inside Confluence and get a quick update on what has been changed. And again, you can click on the items in the list, and then you will see the contents, and you'll be able to work on the contents directly. Now you can also search your Confluence instance directly in connections with the Confluence Search app. And again, you'll first select the space we want to search in. So we will select the demonstration space, and then enter a text to search with. And with the search results brought back, we will actually highlight where the search term appears in the content, either in the title, so that will be show up as bold, or in the page content itself, so also highlighted here in bold. So this way you can actually get an idea about the context of your search results. Now you can click on the search results, and again you'll see the content here, and then you can work with the contents. Now for those that really like the power of Confluence, you can actually bring in the entire Confluence space into connections. If you come to the option here and select the Confluence Wiki option. And what this will do is you can actually bring in the entire space of a Confluence inside IBM connections, and you can work here just like if you're working in the context of IBM connections. So that's the Jira and Confluence integration. We will now move on to Salesforce, OneDrive, and Zendesk. So we will first start with OneDrive. Now what we have set up here is a community for a project called Hummingbird. Now the first thing you can do with OneDrive integration is you can bring in the contents of a OneDrive directory directly inside IBM connections. So over here we have a number of directories listed. Now you can actually click on the directories and drill down into its contents. So we click on the Project Hummingbird directory, and we can see now we have 4 more subdirectory inside. Now, since this is a community for the Project Hummingbird, now instead of asking all the users of members of the community that are coming in and having to click on Project Hummingbird in order to see the folder's contents, we can actually right-click on that and then say Set as Root Folder. So in this way, whenever a member comes to a community, they will see the contents from the Project Hummingbird directory directly. Now we can drill down and see we have a number of files in the sales contract directory. Now if it's an Office file, we can click on that, and what this will do is trigger the Office 365 integration. As you can see, we can view the contents of the file online, and we can also choose to edit the file. Now we can choose to edit the file in the browser, and this will open up the Word Online from Office 365, and I will be able to make changes to the file and save it back directly to OneDrive. Now, if you have Office apps such as Word or PowerPoint installed on your local machine, you can also launch those apps by clicking here. And this will launch your Office app on your computer and lets you work with the file. As you can see, this reflects the change where we just changed the date from 2018 to 2019. Now again, we can make changes, and then the changes we can save back directly to OneDrive. Now from the integration, you can also download the file directly. You can share the file with other users, as well as you can rename the file. Now, if you want, you can also upload files to OneDrive by clicking here and then select Upload. And you can choose file you have on your local drive and then upload those directly into OneDrive directory of your choice. And the second option we have is you can search for your OneDrive contents inside connections. So in this case, we search for AppFusions, and this is bringing back quite a number of results. And again, we can click on these files, and this will show us the contents directly inside your browser. And of course, you will be able to share, download, rename, and delete the files as you wish. So that's the OneDrive integration. We will now move on to Salesforce. Now with the Salesforce integration, we have the Salesforce List app. What this will do is it allows you to select first the object type. So inside Salesforce, you have account, opportunity, cases, and probably quite a number of other custom object types that you have created for your organization. So in this case, we're reporting on the account object type. And then you can select the view that you have created for that object. So in this case, we are using the Platinum and Gold SLA customers, so our most important customers that we care about. And then you can select the fields you want to use to build up your list. So different object types are different fields. So for account, we are interested in the account name. And then for lastly, we select how many results we want to return. So in this case, 5. So we only care about the top 5 customers. And what this will do is it will now bring back the top 5 accounts that comes from the view that we have selected. And you can click on the results, and that will take you directly link over to Salesforce, and you will be able to work on these accounts directly. Now we also have the Salesforce Recently Viewed app. And what this will do is it will pull in the top 10 items that you have viewed. Now, this may be accounts, opportunities, or users, or any other content types. So this way, it serves as a reminder, so you know what you have been working on inside Salesforce. Now, we also have the Salesforce Chart app. Now, this is similar to the JIRA Chart app. It will pull in it will pull in a view that you have set. So in this case, we are looking at opportunities, and the view that we're using returns all opportunities. And then you select the field that you want to use to build up your chart with. So in this case, we want to look at the stage for each of the opportunities. And this will bring up a pie chart, and then we can see the various stages and how many of them are in each of the sales stage. And lastly, we can also search contents inside Salesforce. So we first select the object type we want to search in. So in this case, we can select account. And once we have selected our object type, we can select what fields we actually care about that we want to see in our search results. So for account, we might want the account name and then the account type. And now we will be able to run a quick search. So I think I have an account with a name that starts as Berlin. So once we run a search, and that returns us the results of Burlington Textile Corp of America, and that shows up the name of the account as well as the type, just as we have specified in our search. So that's a Salesforce integration. We will now move on to Zendesk. So for the Zendesk integration, now we have the Zendesk list. And what this lets you do is to provide a search query to define the results you want to return in the integration, and then how many results you want back. So in this case, we only care about incidents or tickets that have a priority that's set to urgent, so the most important items that require our immediate attention. So now this brings back the results, and we can click on the results, and that will show us the content of the ticket, the status, that's in pending, and then if there are any comments, this will also show up inside here. Now we can also comment back to the ticket. We can say, this is all good. And we can choose if this is going to be a public comment, which will be viewable by both your agents and your customers, or it can be a private comment, in which case only your agents will be able to view it. And lastly, we also provide a way to search your Zendesk information from connections. So we can put in a search term here, and then filter our search based on status, if we only care about new, open, pending status, and also the priority, as well as the type of ticket, whether if it's a question, incident, problem, or task. And then we can run the search, and that will bring back the search results. We can click on the result, and then we can see the contents, and then we can comment back if we want. Okay, so that's the end of the demonstration. So I'll hand it back to you now, Danielle.
That was awesome, Patrick. Thank you so much. Very thorough. And I'd like to wrap up with a list of additional demo sessions in April and May. Each will be held at the same time, 8 a.m. Pacific on Thursdays. And last but not the least, to request an evaluation, please visit www.appfusions.com or email us at info@appfusions.com or tweet us. Thank you so much for attending our first webinar in this series. We look forward to hearing from you with feedback for evaluation requests or any questions. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye now.